Hello, my name is Mike Dot. I'm here with my bro, Afromania.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, I mean, well, this.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. It's just like, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can call me Isaac. It's okay. It's all right. It's cool. I'm Afro, but you know, you can call me my name, Isaac. You can call me my government name. It's all right.
Okay. Well, regardless, this is Two Bros.exe podcast. Title pending because we're not exactly sure what the title of this thing is gonna be yet. Regardless, we're here and we're here to talk about video games. And today, I want to just talk about games that we're looking forward to in the new year. I figured, what a better way to start this podcast with this discussion with what's going on in the 2024. You know, there's a few games that I'm interested here and there, and the biggest one that I'm want to start off talking about is Tekken 8. Now, Tekken is a series that I'm very familiar with, but I haven't touched in a long time. I mean, I dabbled in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Tekken 7, but the last Tekken game that I could say that I fully committed myself to was Tekken 6. And that was back in the PS3 era. It's a very long time since I've really, truly gotten into the game, but I am very much anticipating Tekken 8 because it's just like a fresh take on the combat with the whole heat system and some of the new characters. Game is just way more offensive focused, and really looking forward to that kind of gameplay. I feel like it's been missing from Tekken for a while. So what are you feeling? How are you feeling about Tekken 8? Sorry, I'm about to say Tekken 7. Tekken 8.
It's Tekken 8.
Yeah, it's a long series. It's been a while since I played.
Tekken Ocho.
Yeah. Okay, Tekken Ocho.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm actually quite excited for Tekken 8. You know, just like you, the last game I played was Tekken 6, but it was on the Xbox 360. It was like 7 years ago. So this franchise has been around for a pretty long time, but I figure Tekken 7 has been around for almost a decade.
yes, that's true.
Before they actually decided to go to Tekken 8. But no, I'm very excited about if this is going to be the final story in the Kazuma Mishima Jin Kazama battle line. I think what they're doing right now for Tekken 8, I'm really excited for what the story is going to withhold. And it seems like Namco Bandai has really thrown some serious money into this, man, especially with the marketing. I don't know if you ever actually had the opportunity to see the commercials.
I have not. No, I have not.
Basically, there's the commercial. Do you remember the Mortal Kombat commercial back in 1990?
It was like the Mortal Monday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like goofy as hell.
And then only last year for Mortal Kombat 1, they recreated that commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tekken basically stole that concept and did their own version of that, but just weird as fuck. Because
what?
As anything weird as Tekken 8, which fits perfectly for Tekken 8 because Tekken 8 has always been a weird story game. You know, Street Fighter has been kind of consistent. Mortal Kombat has been kind of consistent with the story. Tekken 8 has just been batshit off the wall, shit crazy in terms of story load, and they've kind of accepted everything about it. So yeah, no, I'm excited for Tekken 8. I had the opportunity to play the demo a couple weeks back. Yeah, it's a totally different game from when I played Tekken 6, and I played a little bit of Tekken 7. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Looking forward to it.
Like you were saying, the whole Mishima like bloodline story, like it's just like how long have these characters have been going at it? Like, geez, it's been years. It's like you figure like these characters should be dead by now. They just keep coming back. Except Heihachi. He's confirmed officially dead. for good this time. That's
Are you
why.
sure about that?
I mean, the director, like freaking, the director said he's dead. And
they said he's
and then
dead.
Harada.
However, they keep on.
I mean,
they keep one-upping him. You throw him off a ravine, you throw him off a mountain, and then you throw him in the pit of lava. I mean, Kazuma Mishima should have died in 3, and he comes back in 4, and he got thrown into a pit of lava, Michael.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe lava is not effective. Maybe they got to figure something out. Like, I don't know, like a freaking, like something that destroys your atoms or whatever. Probably that's what they need to be working on.
Maybe they need to throw him in a tub. Not tub, like a pool of killer sharks, and watch the body get disintegrated.
I don't know.
Because I feel like that's the only way you can kill.
Because
this point,
like, dude, a Mishima would just fight off the sharks.
That is very true. But what if these are like generally altered sharks pumped in with steroids and
have
like
freaking laser beads on their heads?
Yeah, because that's the only way you can kill a Mishima at this point.
No, I don't think that's gonna work. But moving on, I guess other game that I'm actually looking forward to, just out of pure curiosity, is a game called Foam Stars. If you've ever played Splatoon, it's basically that, but with foam, and you got like anime characters just like surfing on the foam. And it's a more like you got a more of a kill confirm like mechanic to it, and it looks kind of goofy, but I can't say that it's a bad idea, to be perfectly honest with you. But as a Splatoon player, I'm very, very curious to just give it a try. Unfortunately, I didn't try it when it was available during the beta because I didn't have my PS4 available on me. But I'm definitely gonna give it a try when it comes out in like next month. And I'm just curious, like, are you any interested in this one?
I never even heard of it.
Really?
Tell me right now. So,
well, like, yeah, you're interested at least a little bit in like Splatoon,
I am so
right?
out of the loop of a lot of these games right now.
Really?
Dude, like that. Like, what are you talking about? What I will admit is that there was a story about, like, I guess the game director or the producer is like, he hates the fact that people keep related it to Splatoon. That's the only thing I know about the game.
I mean, yeah, he does, but I mean, it's hard not to compare the two. I mean, the gameplay is just so similar, where you're basically using foam to cover the territory instead of using ink, which is a very novel concept from Splatoon alone. And it's just like, yeah, it's just very similar, but the foam aspect does give a unique twist to the gameplay, where there's now height and elevation that you also have to worry about. It's not just you're not just covering the floor, you're also creating like higher ground you can defend yourself from, or get the drop off on enemies. You also have like special power-ups that basically disrupt the foam in unique ways. So it definitely has its own unique spin on what like Splatoon had.
Well, again, this is like my real first time hearing about the game, but in terms of what you said about interpretation, in terms of being inspired, when you really come to art, I forgot, there was a book that I was reading about that actually kind of talked about the situation that you brought up. And when you're really making something, you have to kind of ride that line between it can't be different enough, which in the world of video games is like what you have, which I think a lot of game developers struggle. Like, they want you to keep, like, people want the same experience that's been playing up to this point.
Yeah, true.
But there needs to be enough wrinkles in it to feel like a unique experience.
Yep, I definitely agree.
Yeah, so in that, well, I mean, and you see it again, even like in world of fighting games. Like that's why you have Street Fighter is different from Mortal Kombat. It's different from Tekken. That's different from Killer Instinct. And then with the first person shooting games that are out there right now, like with Call of Duty, it's different from Battlefield. And then even what you're saying right now in terms of is Splatoon different from
Foam Stars.
Foam Stars. So yeah, it's not unique. Like you said, it doesn't really have to be unique, but there needs to be enough of a nuance, enough style that hopefully it lures players into it. Like it's just a familiarity, but there is its unique style to it.
I think, like I said, I think this game does it. Foam Stars, I think it does it. I know a lot of people aren't really gonna give it a chance, but I will. I'll probably like play it and just get my thoughts on it. Okay. Speaking of like games I'm looking forward to this year, is a game that was actually available last year, but got shut down, and now it's supposed to be coming back this year, and we don't know exactly when, but it should be sometime soon, and that's Multiverses. That was basically the Warner Brothers branded Smash Brothers like 2v2 fighting game, and yeah, I played a lot of it last year. It was a pretty unique experience as a game that tries to take the whole Smash Brothers / platform fighting game like style and make it something different with its Warner Brother branded characters. It had cooldowns, cooldown based like attacks and classes and characters that are based on support, attack, tank. It was very different. It was almost to the point where it was a little bit detrimental to the game, because it's not a game that you can easily pick up and play compared to a game like Smash Brothers, because you have to worry about, again, your characters have different classes. Your characters have different strengths and weaknesses. You also have passive buffs and talents that you also have to worry about, unless you're playing competitively, where you don't have to worry about passive bonuses and stuff like that. But when you do, it really like changes up your playstyle just a fair bit differently compared to how your character is being played in its base form. And again, the 2v2 whole like structure also means that a lot of these characters have very glaring weaknesses that have to be covered by another character that has better focus on like attacking head on or attacking from a distance, and you basically have to cover each other's like weaknesses in order to bring their strengths out. And I think that is a unique part of the game, but also again a detriment in some cases, because it's not a game that you can easily pick up and play. Now it's a game that I played a whole lot during the last year, and I was wondering, Afro, did you play any of this last year?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of spaced out when you're talking.
What? Jeez, what? Come on, man.
No, but in terms of Multiverses, yeah, it is kind of interesting that they shut it down and then brought it back to say, hey, this is going to be the sequel to the first game that we made.
Well, it's not a sequel. It's going to be like, it's just a relaunch.
It's a relaunch. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a relaunch, and they've already did a little bit of marketing here and there that's saying that the game is going to return. We're not exactly sure if it's going to stay free to play or it's going to become retail. And I'm kind of thinking that's what they're going to do, is kind of switch away from free to play to retail. Because yeah, even though it got a lot of player numbers, it clearly, when the game is free, there's no commitment.
There's no money.
There's no money involved, so that like players have no reason to stick around if they're not enjoying the game. Unlike
at least you can at least recoup some of your recoup some of the budget.
Recoup, yeah.
If you decide to go retail on it. Now, do you think that's the best source of a way for a game like this? Because now, and like, you know what, this game came out last year, right? Like you said,
it came out last year.
do you fear that maybe some people won't come back now that you're
Oh,
introducing that model now?
I mean, again, we don't know if they're gonna go with the free to play or switch.
Okay, so it's just speculating.
It's speculation because since the game has been has been down for so long since they shut down the original servers, I'm just figuring maybe the live service model isn't working out for the game. And to be honest, live service games have been failing for the past few years. So I would not be surprised if they decide to drop it altogether and just make it a retail game that you just buy out the box.
Well, the problem right now with the live service model is that you're trying to force the live service model on games that shouldn't need a live service model
Exactly.
at the moment. Like Fortnite makes sense because that's how the game was built around. It was built around for that kind of model. So they know how to make it work, you know. It's more multiplayer though. I'm thinking more battle passes, but they built that model around that, you know. When you definitely try to shove a live service game into I don't want to say it, a certain Rocksteady game.
Yeah, I know you're gonna get to that point.
Then you'll have a little bit of issues with that, which is also kind of funny because they're both in the same company with Warner Brothers.
The runners, yeah.
It looked interesting. I know it had a little bit of more. It's kind of like, you know, your Super Smash Brothers style aesthetic game. I wouldn't say it's my type of game that I would play other than Super Smash Brothers though. But again, it's to each its own. It does have its own style. It's definitely unique, and it definitely uses a lot of Warner Brothers IPs and then brings them into interesting lights. So again, whatever model they go with, hopefully the gameplay is good.
I mean, it was good when I played it. It was just a little on the janky side, simply because like it's another one of those Smash style games that tries so hard to not play like Smash that it kind of makes you wish you were playing Smash, if that makes any sense. Because again, the game has like some attacks have cooldowns on them. Some attacks don't have like traditional like motions. Like things are just very like strange. Like for like instance, like a character like Morty from Rick and Morty, he doesn't play out like very like straightforward. You have to like throw grenades on the ground, and then you have to shoot the grenade with the pistol, and then you have to line things up in order to get attacks going. And it's just like so like can I just give me like a forward smash, an up smash, a down smash, and we're good to go? But no, they kind of had to do something strange and different just to justify the game being a 2v2 game. And that does throw me off, and it threw a lot of people off, just on how accessible the game could be. So I'm thinking that maybe if they brought it back, they're probably going to have to rework a lot of the characters to just be easier to pick up and play. And yeah, and just another thing is that it's another reason why I personally dropped the game is because it didn't have a lot of characters that appealed to me. Because the game is a Warner Brothers game, it also means they own a lot of like Cartoon Network properties, and some of the only Cartoon Network stuff they got is a lot of like either old school stuff like Scooby-Doo, new school stuff like Steven Universe, but they don't have a lot of Cartoon Network representation. I was hoping they would get some of that Samurai Jack, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls, and they're nowhere to be seen. And because those characters aren't represented in the game, I kind of just dropped it and just like, okay, I'll wait when they decide to pull those characters into the game. Then I'll pick it up again, and that kind of never happened.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I know they tend to lean actually extensively outside of the cartoons. They actually lean more towards the DC stuff they lean more towards the Hanna-Barbera stuff, was like the Scooby-Doo and the Tom and Jerry. They even went a little outside and got Game of Thrones in there. It's Arya Stark. So I do remember that they really decided to go outside of the plan of all those characters.
I mean, the most awkward or not so awkward depending on your outlook is LeBron James. It's a playable character
even LeBron
in the
James,
game,
because they own Space Jam.
They own Space Jam. That was their loophole to get him into the game in his cartoon form, and they basically used that as an excuse to make him playable.
Well, again, I think they really do go out of the way to say multiverse within the Warner Brothers universe of different properties and stuff like that. I'm shocked that they didn't reach out and pull out like Neo from the Matrix or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean,
like, there's plenty of ideas.
Lord of the Rings. They could have pulled out Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Those are also under the umbrella. And I was hoping they would bring those in too. Yeah.
Are you sure that Lord of the Rings is a WB?
Well, it's a complicated thing because like they got like certain rights to certain characters, and there was also like a quote unquote leak of characters that they did want to put in the game, and Gandalf was one of them, along with Harry Potter, and. Yeah, I mean, and like you did mention, Neo from the Matrix was also in that leak.
Well, that makes sense because it's a Warner Brothers movie, so that makes sense. But I didn't know anything about Lord of the Rings, which I thought would be kind of weird because like they also have their own like Game of Thrones, even though they're not the same in terms of medieval fantasy. No, but I did not know that Lord of the Rings was considered. I think that's always a cool process where you could pick and pluck all these different IPs from your catalog to kind of make a game like this.
Yep.
So
totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, and not a lot of other people are looking forward to it, but and other stuff that we're just anticipating, and like we could also talk about like movie games, because apparently this year is supposed to be like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. And well, I was lukewarm towards the first Sonic movie. Second movie I thought was better, even though it still had a little bit of its Hollywood schlock going for it. But I am hoping that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is going to be like very good, because now this is supposed to be the introduction of Shadow the Hedgehog. And it seems like if they're going based off of basically Shadow the Hedgehog's introduction, which was like in Sonic Adventure 2, I'm wondering how are they going to take that story and then blend it into movie form. And I was wondering how you felt about that.
I enjoyed the first one was pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't the best film, but I actually enjoyed that. Number 2 actually was a better film than the first one, in terms that it did a lot of things that you wanted as a diehard Sonic fan. It actually blended a lot of the story elements from the video game, and actually did a pretty good job of showing even like certain levels and stuff like that that's being represented in that. And I think it was Ben Schwartz who played Sonic, was really good.
He did really good.
Fantastic. Idris Elba as Knuckles was his dry humor was really, really good. So I mean, there was a lot of amazing stuff with that was actually well done. So no, I'm happy that they are making a Sonic 3. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to be able to combine that. There's also a television show, the Knuckles television show, that's going to be on.
Oh, really? I forgot about that too.
That's also going to be making its way too. So, and I think that's supposed to come out before Sonic 3 film, because they're both being filmed together at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but in terms of other things too, I'm looking forward to Arcane. I know Arcane season 2 is going to drop this here.
I need to watch
Finally.
that. I really do need to watch Arcane.
Really, you've not seen Arcane? I
I'm
thought
not
you
because-
have.
I haven't because I'm not a League of Legends fan.
But that's
only
the thing.
reason-
You don't need to be a League
I
of
know you
Legends
don't. I know
fan.
you don't need to be, but that's just because.
You should.
No, it's just because I've had bad memories with League.
Yeah, but
That's
like,
why I haven't watched.
it's the good thing about it has nothing to do with League of Legends. It's
Well,
just taking those characters and then really put them in these really unique story elements. It's actually like some of the best writing I've seen to date during that time.
Well, yeah, I know what
which
you.
is fantastic.
I know you didn't. I know you mentioned that it was only loosely based off League, but that's actually going to be changed very soon because
there are answers.
Yeah, they said
it's basically almost the prelude before it goes to League Legends. It's basically all those characters that are being set up.
It's just
are prelude.
Well, it's not. Well, they are League characters, like
Yes.
like Jinx and Vi are League characters, and like you said, initially Arcane is just loosely based in the like League of Legends universe, but Riot Games recently announced announced a new a complete like department dedicated to lore, that's dedicated to connecting everything within the League of Legends universe. That includes the show, that includes the game. That includes the single player games that are announced from League. That everything is going to be connected, and Arcane is going to be one of those things.
Okay. No, I totally understand. Yeah, but other than that, like, you really don't need to watch League of Legends to be able to enjoy the characters. That's how good the show was written. In terms, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I've commended this show to all my friends. Because of how well the show's written. Like, you don't need to know anything about League of Legends to enjoy the show. It's really well written. So the fact that we're gonna finally get a season 2 that continues the story of Vi and Jinx, it's gonna be great. So I'm looking forward to that.
And moving on, I guess just another thing that I am looking forward to that's very much related in hardware is the anticipation of Nintendo finally announcing and releasing the Nintendo Switch 2. It's basically a poorly kept secret at this point. It's supposed to be coming this year. Nintendo hasn't announced it yet, but we know it's coming sometime before the holiday season. And I'm just honestly looking forward to it, man. I'm just looking forward to just finally getting like a Switch system that just has more power, that can play games more efficiently, that can keep up with PlayStation and Xbox and their visuals in terms of graphics. And hopefully this system will have like better online, have better like connectivity to friends, and just everything that the system desperately needs to be considered like a modern day machine. But I was wondering, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I haven't really played the Switch. I've played once or twice on the Switch as a console though, but I just don't think it's never really been Nintendo's thing to follow the herd. I don't know with now the new change of command that's going to change. I loosely heard that the system specs are still not going to be great. Like, I think they said that the specs are going to be much in the same realm as maybe a PS4 5-ish.
A PS4, you mean a PS4 Pro?
Like a PS4 Pro,
Yeah.
yes. It's going to be in that same level, which is okay, but again, it's not going to be at the same level in terms of pushing the same graphics.
I mean,
as you're getting as a PS5 or a 1. Now, again, Nintendo has never really banked on their graphics. It's really always, when it comes to their games, it's always about the art direction, the style. Nintendo games have always been more stylistic than graphic pushing heavy. That's why I don't think it really matters in terms of Nintendo's strategy. and who you're trying to appeal to. So Nintendo has always been that complementary system that you're, of course, as a hardcore gamer, you're either going to decide either you're going to get an Xbox or a PlayStation, but Nintendo's always been that second complementary system due to its, you know, its legendary library. It was Mario and Zelda and Splatoon that's jumped onto it. So yeah, I am interested to see what they're going to bring to the table to Nintendo, but I don't expect too much of a difference in their strategy. I think they always enjoy being that complementary system to a lot of gamers, and I think that strategy has served them very well up to this point. I don't know why you would want to change it just for graphic. Try to be more graphic dominant. Like I was maybe like 10 years ago, I would say, man, Nintendo really needs to step up in the graphic part. But I think it's always served them where there could be that system that is a little bit more economical. And they still know that their money is family first. And I don't think they wouldn't want to really disappear from that. You know. And again, like 10 years ago, I would have been more like, so I was a hardcore gamer, like they need to step up. Now that I'm a little older, like I understand the marketing aspect to it. So we'll see what happens to that.
And like I said, if they're going for visuals on the level of PS4 Pro, I'll take it. I think it's going to be good enough for game developers to really like push their visual power into their games. And that'll be good, but really, I just want better online. Just better connectivity, a way to actually talk to friends. And I know Nintendo doesn't want to deal with all the messiness of that comes with like online connectivity and talking to random strangers on the internet, because you don't want to have to deal with the nastiness of getting messages from random players online, like what I do from playing PS4 and getting a nasty message from a person because I beat them in 3-on-3 freestyle. But it is what it is. I think Nintendo just needs to just push through it and do what they can to just give, like, you know, safety measures to that, and just let people talk and let people enjoy like online gaming the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. And at the end of the day, I just hope the games are fun. But anyway, I think that's about it. Want to wrap this thing up. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see if we could do this again some other time soon.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it, man. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Subscribe if you want to see more. My name is Mike Dot. I'm bro Afromania.
Yep.
Peace.